Hello, Active Sage here on the Sage channel, and a wonderful update came out today that updated the G screens, where if you press G on your keyboard, you have all the objects to select from in your inventory. Down at the bottom, we still have the Shift 1, 2, 3, 4, still not more of those, a little disappointed, but I'm sure they'll get there someday. But at the very top of your screen, though, if you look above where my mouse is going, you'll notice there is a lack of the usual bar there, where you usually drag down things that are on your person. Well, now, that's actually right here, where you have character tools and character animations. On the left here, you can see that the stuff that's on your person is now segregated into its own little section here, as well as everything else, where you can see armor blocks, hockey blocks, conveyor blocks, large blocks, small blocks, window blocks. Oh, and then of course at the very top we have all blocks, which will have everything, which you can expect to see a lot of the automated mod blocks, or I just say automated, any of the mod blocks that people have modded into the game showing up here until the mod developers go ahead and put in their own little categories for that stuff. But it's all there, it's pretty cool, and that is how you access this stuff now, is that you just click and drag it down from this menu into your hotbar, and there you go, you have it. Of course, if you didn't have it in your inventory, you wouldn't be able to do that, and actually I suspect, let me go ahead and actually drop this on the floor. So there we go, and no welder now. You can see it's grayed out there at the number 2 slot there I had at the bottom. But if we were to go back into the G screen and go to character tools, it's not there. So it's only showing what is actually in your inventory when it comes to character tools and things like that. Of course, for just placing other blocks like all these show up here no matter what. Now, mind you, if you are in, let's say, a ship or a station that actually has these large tools equipped to them, such as this here, this is just a silly demonstration for that, you can see down there I have the weapon button at 1. Now the way you get that down there is very simple. You can see in a station or ship you have the weapons and tools similar to how you have on a character, and you have your character animations, because you can still do them. Simply click and drag that down there just like we did on the actual character, and then left mouse button is doing that. Now of course in a cockpit you can still press G and have all blocks and drag a specific one down there and set up functionality just like usual, so you can set up however you like. It's pretty cool, pretty nice. Let's go ahead and fly back over here to this platform we were on. There's something else. Let's say you are in a creative world like this, and you've gone ahead and accidentally, very stupidly, dropped all of your tools. And you might be saying, okay, well, I'm sort of out of luck now. I guess I have to go mine some resources and build them. Well, now luckily they've done something more intelligent. So Shift F10 is Shift on your keyboard and the F10 button. It'll now bring up this menu at the right here, and you can see you can now spawn stuff in. So let's say you need some gold for a story mission or whatever you're setting up, you can bring that in. Let's say you did need that tool back that you dropped. You can go ahead now and find the automatic rifle that you might have dropped, and we're only going to need one of those, so we'll spawn that in. There we go, we got another automatic rifle. Pretty cool, pretty useful, pretty awesome. Again, that's Shift F10. So hold Shift and then press F10. It's pretty awesome. And of course you can spawn in quite a few of these, but you might not want to do that because if they get too heavy, they're going to fall through the floor. And you see I press and pick that up, I go to my inventory, and it looks like it only gave me one. But other things such as gold, you can indeed spawn in a lot of stuff, or computers for that matter. So you can spawn in 155 little computers, or 144, pardon, and you'll have those all in your inventory. Pretty cool, pretty nice, and I'm sure a lot of people will be using this to make story mode missions and stuff where you have to go collect specific things, and a lot of cool stuff is possible with this. And you can see there's pretty much everything listed here that you can possibly spawn in as a small item that you can pick up, which is pretty cool. And of course, like I just said, you can select the amount that you want to spawn in. Now, there is something else that I almost forgot to show you. It was this search function at the very top right here. I almost forgot to tell you guys you can actually now search in here, so it's like, oh, I need to build a timer block, but where was timer block? Which one of these would they be under? I don't know, conveyors, or do they even have their own section? Maybe they don't. Maybe they're like all these technical ones down here that don't have one. Oh, there's a timer block. Well, instead of that, you could of course very simply go timer and find it that way, or bat for battery, find that. Very, very simple. And you can see it sorts through everything there. So you might have noticed that if I was to type in wave, it even sorts through absolutely all the categories, so you can even find your wave animation if you just want to find that without having to actually click down at character animations and find it. So if you have 8 billion animations, hopefully they'll all show up in here. If not, the modders will have to probably mod it to show up in there. But anyway, the point is you'll end up with being able to find it very easily, whichever animation you want, as long as you know the name or item. Very, very cool. Anyway, there's 2 more things with this update that are worth sharing. First off is you'll see the large radius antenna. Why would I bother naming it that? Well, simply put, if we do a K, we go to the info tab, and now you can see we have show antenna range. So we can click that and turn it on, and now it's like we're inside this big, huge dome thing. In fact, it looks like there's 2 of them, probably because we have another antenna somewhere that has a large range. Well, that's because we are inside a gigantic bubble. This is the bubble of the antenna. And you can see if I fly out, Actually, I suspect one of those is, yeah, it's the mining drones bubble. So we fly out of that, and you can see we're still inside the huge bubble, and that is about 10,000 meters. Now, I flew back in here because I need to show you something else. It's the fact that you cannot actually see all the antenna fields. First off, you need to own them. Second off, you have to actually be able to be within an area where both the antennas can see it. So I can't see this antenna's range here, but if I fly into it, I can see it. Now the reason because of that is there's not two antennas talking to each other. So none of these, what do I mean by that? Please forgive me for the stuttering, is the fact that that antenna cannot see this one because it's not broadcasting far enough. Now if I had another small antenna right here, so I'll really quickly cook a few little tiny antennas up. So there I have a nice little tiny antenna, and it is set to be owned by me. So now if I fly out of that antenna's range, I can still see it. And the reason for that is because this antenna here can see that one since it's within its range, and this antenna here can see that one because it's within this antenna's range, which is much higher. It's the bog standard pretty high. So now we can see all these because they're all able to talk to each other. It's pretty cool, pretty nice, and all in all, quite fantastic to be able to see that if you're having trouble getting your antennas set up correctly. Now, the one other thing we have to show, and let's go ahead and turn this off because it's a bit annoying to see all those fields. So there we go. No longer can so you see the fields of those antennas, is this mining drone here. And they've set up something a bit different with sensors now. So I'll actually go ahead and land down here. Press K at the top left. I'm going to go find my small mining ship. There we go, mining drone. I'm going to do the control me group that I have there and select that. So now I have control of it. I'm going to press a 1 button to get into the camera view. You'll also notice at the top left now it shows you that you're using a camera and you are at and you're controlling a ship named the mining drone. Pretty cool. And if we go in here, you'll now notice that sensor has a new setting all the way at the bottom. It's called Detect Asteroids. So now we can actually set it up so that if our sensor has the correct field, so let's go ahead and let me just set this up quickly. Alrighty, you can see that I've set it up to have a range of 50. Let's disable detect players, and now it's just set to detect asteroids. And the idea that they showed in their official video, the devs, is that you could use something like this to maybe have an auto miner that will just mine through an asteroid and then stop. And I have to do a basic one of these. I can do setup actions on this sensor. I can go to groups because they have this nice little groups tab. And actually, yeah, I have to actually go to groups right now. In the demo video they showed, the developers, there was actually a group section at the top, still in all blocks. For some reason that seems to be gone right now. I don't know if that's fluke, but anyway, we can select our thruster right there, and we'll do it to toggle on when we detect an asteroid, and when we stop detecting an asteroid, toggle off. So now, if I was to turn this sensor back on, and I'll just get this ship right around here. Yeah, it would have heard a click and it's now activated. Now what we could also do is had another sensor or had a timer set to turn on more things, but for right now we're just going to go ahead and select both of our drills and turn them on. So now the ship will just automatically continue to press through that asteroid and mine away. And you see at the back there, those two thrusters are indeed still firing, which were the thrusters that were originally off. So it'll continue mining its way through pretty much automatically. This ship isn't exactly ideal. As you can see, it's slightly taller. And, well, yeah, it's slightly taller than it should be, so. But anyway, that's it. That's this update. It's pretty cool stuff. It's really cool. I think these mining things, being able to detect asteroids with mining systems will actually be very, very powerful. I suspect people who have been playing in completely dark worlds will actually find that very useful for finding meteorites and stuff. And overall, it's a great update, especially this stuff here. It was a long time coming. I sort of expected something more GUI based where you'd click on like one button here and it would have a pull down, but this works pretty well, and actually I think in the long run it's probably better, frankly. And of course, since it's moddable, it'll be very, very nice. And you can see that thing's gotten stuck because I bailed it too high. Anyway guys, that's it. Thanks a bunch for watching, and I'll see you next time.